Alright, hello and welcome everyone. So today is going to be kind of a different video. We are currently on the precipice of the content drop that is going to be Fortuna. And for that, I wanted people to be ready for the content. And the number one thing, which is what we're going to be going over today, that I want people to be ready for, is the absolute scale of what Fortuna is going to bring. For those that do not know, this is the Plains of Eidolon. This area is quite large. It is fairly sizable, and it is sometimes a hassle to get around. We have recently been given a few tools that are going to make this a lot more bearable, but it's a big area. It's no joke. There have definitely been complaints in the past from a lot of players that getting from like side to side in this place takes too long. For that, I want to talk about a couple solutions to this problem that have also other advantages. And first and foremost, that is the Warframe we are using at current, and that is Zephyr. I'm going to show the build for her after we're done talking about all these things. But Zephyr is really, really good for getting around for one very specific purpose, and that is that she is massively efficient. Whenever you use your one in the air as Zephyr, it takes basically no energy for you to get from place to place as long as you are using Xeneric with it. And even when Xeneric's not active, like you see here, just with those like couple of casts, you can see that I'm halfway across the plains in pretty decent time. So Zephyr is definitely poised to be very, very useful in Venus because, for those that do not know, Venus is purported to be 3 times the size of this area. And there is a slight advantage to the way Venus's map is laid out in that it has its Cetus equivalent in the center of the map instead of at the very southernmost point like it is on the Plains of Eidolon. But that's still a very, very large area and could potentially be essentially a Plains of Eidolon sized map in every direction. So getting around quickly is probably going to be rather important to a large amount of players. Now, if you don't want to be pigeonholed, let's say, into Zephyr, you can, of course, use the solution that all Warframes can take advantage of, which is Arcwings. So, for those that do not know, Arcwing launchers are now unlimited use, and they instantly equip the Arcwing, making them significantly more useful. And, of course, more affordable for those of us that like to keep our resources around. This is the Itzel. The Itzel is by far the fastest Arcwing, and just from like a regular sprinting perspective, like you're just gonna like this is fine. Like this is a good speed to be at. It's not terribly slow by any means, but the Itzel has the added advantage of being able to fucking teleport, which is, of course, very fast as long as you have the energy for it. So if you're looking to get from place to place exceedingly quickly, having Xeneric, or, of course, being willing to use energy pads will make it so you can get around at incredible speeds and kind of go wherever you need to. Like, wherever you need to be, if you need to be there right now, the Itzel will get you there right now. And that's definitely the advantage of the Itzel. Of course, the other advantage is being able to use whatever Warframe you want with this, and that is obviously great. So now we're going to jump out of PoE, but not before I mention one last thing about using Zephyr. Zephyr is obviously a Warframe, and as a Warframe, she can equip like Loot Detector and Thieves' Wit, which I have on this build right now. And as you can see on the map, I can see where all of the resource drops are. If that is an important thing in Venus, flying around as Zephyr and getting all of those materials that you will likely need is going to be a very good niche for her. Now, I don't want to discount some of the other Warframes that are very good at going fast, such as Nova, but the thing that Nova has in advantage to Zephyr is more speed. But the big disadvantage is the energy cost. Nova's energy costs are much, much higher than Zephyr's, so you kind of weigh that with what you want. In addition to that, in general, I find Zephyr to be the more lazy survivability option because her 3 will protect her from pretty much anything you're going to encounter on the plains, at least. That may change in Venus, but I imagine, considering it's mostly Corpus, and Zephyr is quite good against Corpus, that you'll be just fine with Zephyr's 3. Anyway, let's jump back to the Orbiter and show off these builds. Alright, so first and foremost, we have the Zephyr build. It's pretty straightforward, like really normal stuff in all honesty. Like loot detector, thieves wit, like I said, is just good for getting stuff. If you don't want to use those mods, obviously there is plenty of room to go with kind of whatever you want in place of thieves wit. And of course you have access to a couple of very good auras in place of loot detector if you're not looking for stuff. Also, further advantage to this isn't only one form of build, so the investment here isn't very high. And it's worth noting that while I do have Arcane Grace and Energize equipped, they're both very much not necessary at all. Like, you don't need to use them at all for this build. Use whatever arcanes you might have access to. Further than that, we have our Arcwing stuff, which if you guys have forgotten, that is the way that you get to Arcwing customization. And then you have the Itzel. Itzel, very fast, doesn't need any Forma, just needs these mods. Obviously, Hyperion Thrusters and System Reroute, very expensive mods to level up. Do not worry about getting them to max rank. Getting them to rank 8 or 9 is going to serve you just fine. And I would say of the two, System Reroute is going to be the more important one because it's going to make your one cheaper, which means you can teleport more. And of course, teleporting is the best thing that you got here. But yeah, that is kind of some good ways to go fast. And also, as a reminder to people who are looking forward to it, dogs and also cats are getting fetch. But, warning, dogs take a lot of Forma. Also, this is unequipped for some reason. Dogs take a lot of Forma. They take a significant amount. And this is ready for fetch to be released. So yeah, if you're looking to use your dogs or cats, they are a Forma investment, and you may want to work on that ahead of time. Yeah, just as a reminder. Anyway, tomorrow I will be going over some more general things that we know about Venus that you're going to want to be prepared for, so look forward to that. But for now, I hope you've enjoyed this video on going fast and why that's going to be important. And I know it's a little bit rambly, but I hope you guys enjoyed it nonetheless. I will see you tomorrow.